Okay, Mr. iPhone. Oh, you're brand new and you're already giving me difficulty. Okay, you are going to be the first people I talk to over my iPhone.
Oh,
God,
okay.
God bless me with the iPhone. Can you believe that?
Wonderful.
Okay. And if this doesn't act right, I'm going to just do with what I have. I don't have time to fight with technology today. I'm not going to do it. Okay. Hit it. That's moving. Is it? Good. Wonderful. That. I'm live. Okay. I'm sorry, everybody. Who you gonna call? Coon Busters. This is Dr. Randy Short. It is Monday, March 1st, 2021. And I am blessed to have two of the most righteous, beautiful, God-fearing women in America standing up for the unborn, standing up for what is right. A lot of you in this on this platform. There are 12 of you right now, and there are going to be a whole bunch more watching. Y'all have seen the video of these two sisters confront Reverend Doctor or Revert Doctor Raphael Warnock down in Atlanta. And let me just do a disclaimer. The views and opinions of Sister Edme Chavans and Sister Beverlyn Beatty are theirs, and it does not necessarily represent those of the Randy Short or Randy Lancaster Short channels. Those are the speakers. Now, having said that, abortion to Randy Short is murder. Abortion is murder. God made man and woman. He didn't make anything else. If you don't like this, if YouTube wants me off, y'all have already put me off. There's Twitch. There's a whole nother world out here. And God does provide. He'll give me another way to say what I have to say. What I want to do today with these two ladies is for them to share their testimonies about why they do and say what they say. I'm not going to interrupt them like I don't interrupt anyone. And I want you to hear. But these two ladies have literally have burnt over Atlanta, New York, and everywhere they go. And I've been very critical of a lot of Black women not standing up. This sister, y'all ask me what kind of Black woman I like. I like righteous ones, like my mother, like my grandmother, like my aunt. I saw this lady, I mean, we cried. We absolutely cried to say, oh my God, there's hope, you know, when you see all the tattoos and everything else. And then you see this sister, and we've all been through something. And I'm in particular, I'm a pro-life advocate. I could care less what anybody thinks about my position. I want to give a quick testimony. My grandmother died in 1960 at the age of 40. If what my father told me was correct, my grandmother had 18 abortions, the back alley illegal kind. 18. I asked my father, give me another number, Daddy. Say anything, Daddy. And my dad insisted 18. And his memories of his childhood is people having to pick up my grandmother covered in her blood from bad abortions. My grandmother died at the age of 40. My family, 60 some odd years later, is still suffering from abortions that took place in the 1940s and 50s. And I love my grandmother, never got to meet her. And it has been a curse on my family all these years. I hate abortion. I hate the organization of Planned Parenthood as long as they have a building with two bricks stuck together. And I want to say to all of you, I'm lucky. When my parents were young, they went to Planned Parenthood for advice. Luckily, my parents wouldn't have been for abortions, but I'm going to tell y'all, and a lot of you men need to stop doing it. My father, 56 years ago, voluntarily had himself sterilized by Planned Parenthood. So I had only my brother and I. My brother died in 2015. My brother had, I think, a girlfriend of his aborted the one child he would have had. The other child he had with his wife was stillborn. Abortion is legacy destroying. Abortion is murder. Abortion is wrong. And the good thing is, my ancestors, I have a great, great, great grandmother named Sonia, who was a Black Indian who was sold into slavery and pretty much raped. She had the children. In fact, all of we Black Americans are descendants of people who've been raped, and other people understood that the baby that resulted from a rape had a soul breathed into them by God, not by the rapist, not even by the rape victim. And they had the children. My great, great, great grandmother envisioned through faith that there'd be people like me. And you can't point to me one positive benefit that Black people in America have from killing 20 million of our own babies. Are our families stronger? Is our health better? Are our communities vibrant? Do we have businesses? Or is it worse? And we're complaining about other people coming to the country. We would be 110, 120 million people. You'd be able to get your reparations had you not murdered your future. We need to, as a people, repent for doing genocide. If what I've read as a historian, that 20 million Black people from Africa died in the slave trade, we in 40 some odd years have killed more of each other than white people trading us for 400 years. Somebody's wrong, and it's not just white folk. So if you like abortion, don't talk to me. If you like this stuff, I'm the wrong person for you. It's murder. It's murder. Missed out on a good opportunity to work at the Heritage Foundation in 1991. They asked me about abortion. I said, it's murder. And I'll tell anybody that. I don't care. Keep your jobs. God will take care of me. We've made a major mistake. We have to stop. And I want to just say this. On the back end of abortion comes transgenderism and all this other confusion. It is integrally connected. I have looked at Margaret Sanger's notes at the Library of Congress manuscript reading room and seen where this gay thing was the fourth stage of what she wanted. Y'all don't like this Gay Equality Act, or what I call the pedophile amnesty bill?
Oh, boy.
Y'all don't like this thing? Well, every time you kill a baby, every time you make sex something that's not procreative, every time you step outside of God's divine plan, you empower the people that want to have sex with animals, want to have sex with your babies. Who do you think they're going to get? And we have enough corrupt people. The answer to all of our problems, and I don't care who doesn't like me, you don't have to. The answer to our problems is we have to convert. We have abandoned God, and God abandons you once you reject him enough. You want to stop being unemployed. You want the crime rate to go down. You want to have the kind of movement where the cops don't kill us, where drugs aren't everywhere. Then our hearts and minds have to change, and no other race of people can do that for us. The Pan-Africanists, going back to Africa, there's drugs in Africa, there's rape in Africa, there's killing in Africa. Africa is wonderful, but it's not heaven. Wake up. And it's so nice. Someone else is going to say stuff I say that makes people mad, and it won't be me. And see, they give sisters a break. So this camera, the way it is, I only have a piece of you. So can y'all focus where both of y'all are in?
Is this better?
Now y'all look like Taste the Honey. Okay. Beverlyn Beatty, you're from Staten Island. Am I correct? Now, Edme Chavans, I don't know where you're from, but where are you from?
Born and raised in Paris, France.
Oh my, okay. You're from Paris. Vous êtes un Parisien.
Parisien, vous parlez un peu français?
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful.
That's
Look, is your family Ivoirian?
yeah, my family actually, my parents migrated from Haiti in the 70s.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
afterwards.
Well, hi, cousin. I have family in Haiti and the Dominican Republic,
Yeah,
but
same.
I'm ADOS. I'm FBA. I'm like Beverlyn. We black. We the N words. I'm not gonna say that though. All
Negroes.
right, Beverlyn, go ahead. In fact, I wish because my camera it doesn't look like. Can y'all just zoom out or expand it out? What can y'all do with your camera?
Let me see what we could do.
Just so it looks like your head's not cut off and all. People need to see at least.
Oh, well,
No, you don't. I want to see that they doing
voice is-
yoga.
Okay, try to stool in.
Oh, hold on.
All right, let's see if I can back up a little.
Okay, while they're getting this together, y'all, how is everybody out there, Brother Cam, and all of you? I will go back to the Angry Black Men's Book Club. I have my books. I've got all kinds of stuff I've been picking up. We will be going in on feminism, and I have this book. Where is it? In fact, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off, and I'm just going to let you, because I saw this. In fact, Beverlyn, you have the ministry. In fact, introduce your organization, and I need you to send me, because I asked Drummond, I do have something, but I just want you to introduce the organization. And this, the Run for Life. You're vice president or president of Run for Life.
So, yes, we have At the Well Ministries, and I'm a co-founder at
At the Well Ministries.
Yes.
That's right.
I'm also the vice president of One Race for Life, but I stepped down because there was a request to kind of water down how we minister. You remember that interview that you said with the man from Atlanta?
Yes.
Well, they didn't like how direct I was. And so they thought—
They didn't like how black you were. Let's call it what it is. And we've got, this is look, I'm going to share this with you. My father, 50 years ago, had a golden opportunity. But these evangelical people said you can't talk about race. You can talk about Jesus, but you can't talk about certain things because it will offend people. And let me just say this to you so you know where I'm coming from. The second commandment is necessary for the first commandment to work, because it says, how can you love God who you've not seen and hate your brother? If people truly believed in Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, and God the Father, this satanic cult of racism and tribalism, it all goes back to false religion, where Cain murdered Abel because Cain didn't want to do what God told him to do. If people are following Cain instead of trying to run after who Abel was following, then they're off the mark, because you can't have slavery. You couldn't have what has gone on and goes on continuously in Haiti. You couldn't have the people in the Banoués outside of Paris that Edmund knows about, where the people are segregated in France or in Belgium and other places I've been all over. If people who were Christian, one of the books I'm going to read through, not in your segment. This is a white gentleman, William Lloyd Garrison, one of the early abolitionists. Do you know that these people came to his house and pulled him out to lynch him for advocating for Black people? This is in the 1830s. And you know what? Once they didn't lynch him, he went right on back to saying slavery is wrong. Hatred against Black people is wrong. If you kill me, you kill me. You know what I'm saying? This is the kind of faith that a lot of Black conservatives, by the way, I call them Republicans, because, you know, they can be pro-life, which is important. And I like that. Shoot a cop, they talk. But when it's a white officer who is a racist or a supremacist who violates and brutalizes people like Breonna Taylor, whether she was involved in that stuff or not, you don't go and just shoot someone's house up. That's not how it's done in certain neighborhoods. You and I know this to be true. Okay, the people who are on the conservative side, who are Black, they have a golden opportunity to lead us away from Planned Parenthood, to lead us away from the Equality Act, to get us away from being a slave to one party or the other. And they get weak when it comes down to talking about it's real. Look, sisters, I've already told my audience, my father was going to build a church in North Carolina 50 years ago. But because my father and mother had such a massive outreach, they had an event at Howard University that drew maybe 30,000 people, a revival at Howard University. It was so successful. My parents didn't move the family to North Carolina to build a church in Jones County. And I told everybody, I just learned last week that some company, it's not Black owned, has put up a cell tower on land that my father's supposed to build a church on, and have falsified the documents that they own the land that my parents own, and have derived hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'll be very honest with you, I wouldn't want to go down to that county and fight with them, because I'd probably end up dead, for people to cover up the fact that these people are stealing. They have a $500,000 cell tower on our property that they didn't tell us about, that they've been making all this money off for about 6 years. And this is racism. And so my mother has needed the money. In fact, I'd have a studio if we were getting paid for what these people are taking. I just learned this last week. There's systemic injustice and racism in this country. It is ungodly. I like America and all that, but it is what it is. So I just learned my mom cheated out of my dad's pension, and they tried to steal my grandparents' house, and my grandparents are ministers of church. And this happens to us all the time. And that's aggravated by how we treat each other, which you know about, Beverlyn, and how Black folk, we drugging and beating and pimping and so forth. We also, Black people don't follow the second commandment. We think white people should follow the second commandment in regards to us, but we don't have to do it regarding one another. So basically, it is a rebellion against God that we shouldn't love and treat each other the way that God tells us to. And this old white abolitionist was confronting white folk head to head at the risk of his life. And there are a whole bunch of other abolitionists. There's one that was in Illinois, who was helping unite Black families that were running from slavery. Do you know he was burned at the stake for helping Black folks? These are white Christians burnt alive for Black people based on their Christian conviction, which is why I get angry with these coon pastors like T.D. Jakes, Eddie Long, Jamal Bryant, that's down in Atlanta. He's a deviant. I said it. Okay. We can do better than this. I mean, and if white Christians can die for Black freedom when slavery was cool, was the most profitable thing in the country and all that, why can't some of us die to the allure of being Democrats getting money from Emily's List? You understand? We don't even have to get burnt up like Elijah Lovejoy did. That you've heard of him, the abolitionist, Elijah Lovejoy down in Alton. They burnt him because he advocated Black freedom. They burnt him with his press and his books. If, so, because there's this whole thing out there, these Black conscious, the ones that go around and wear the booty cross. I call it a booty cross because it has a hole in it. That's probably why I think they like it. The ox and so forth. We can absolutely do better. Maybe life won't be perfect, but the kingdom of God could exist if we wanted, if we only dared apply the 10 Commandments, the Sermon on the Mount, and actually try to live out a genuine faith, which you are doing. You two are doing. And so let me shut up. and I'm going to just let you guys talk. Just say whatever you want to. And the only thing I was going to do is I'm going to tell you, I do want to ask you about the Equality Act, feminism, this whole LGBTQ foolishness, and that's it. This is going to be a fun show. It's not going to be like the show in Atlanta. I agree with you. I mean, I love that. This is crazy. There are people call me saying, Beverlyn, they say that you're a female version of me. I'm thinking, I said, she's more extreme. I'm a chump compared to her. So please, ladies, I'm gonna get off and just let y'all have the whole thing.
I'd like to just answer your questions if that's okay. Just go
and
yeah.
I'm listening. Oh, okay. Well, one, the Equality Act. What do you think about this thing that just passed? And the 59, there are 59 Negroes in Congress now. Every single solitary one of them voted for this Equality Act. What do you think about that? And they're all Democrats.
So this went through Senate and
no, went to the House.
The House.
Okay. 224 to 206. Just maybe it won't get through the Senate. And Black folk, it will be Mitch McConnell. No matter what you think about him, it will be the Republican senators that save us from being enslaved to white sodomites and black sodomites too. They're sidekicks. That's the book I want to grab. So that's why I want to have y'all just have the screen. I got this book I got to find in my room. So what do you think about this? Have you read that whole thing, or do you want me to read what the bill says?
Okay, well, I found it very ironic. Here's the reason. We were having Black History Month, correct? And I found it interesting that no bill has passed for Black History Month, but a bill passed for sodomy, for literally allowing all sorts of deviance to be legal and accepted through law. Mm-hmm. That's what's going on. Now, the Democrats are pushing it. I'm asking what Black people where they are. I thought y'all wanted reparations. I thought y'all you voted for your slave owner. You voted for the Democrat Party. You voted for Biden. But I'm not seeing any giveaway. I'm not seeing any, at least they could give you a bone. They could give you some reparations. But that didn't happen. So what happened? The Equality Act passed House. It's on the verge of passing Senate. If
it's passed for the second time.
Yeah, because they tried it before.
Right.
And it didn't go through because it was shut down by Senate. But at the time we owned it, Republicans at least. And now it's not the case. So it's going to take a miracle. Kamala Harris happens to be the president of the Senate. So if it's a tie, let's just say that all the Democrats stick to their guns and all the Republicans stick to their guns, then Kamala will be the breaking tie. And so, yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, it's going to take a miracle for this actually not to be passed. It's going to take a miracle from God. And what I realize now through this equality, quote unquote, act, persecution is going to come to the church directly through that. Basically, our religious values are null and void. If you have to accommodate these people, regardless of your religious values. And you know what's so interesting is that I was listening to something from Miles Monroe today, and he spoke about patriarchs. It was his last statement he made at the dinner table. My boyfriend sent it to me before he died. And he spoke about how the patriarchs are the fathers of a movement, and how, you know, they speak life into the movement, but they are the fathers of the movement. The father of this Equality Act right now is Martin Luther King. That's the father. He's the one who birthed this. So for me, it is such a slap in the face because we utilized civil rights, right, to get equality treatment. And we thought we were doing something, but we were actually setting up a platform for the devil while really protesting for our own demise. The same thing that has quote unquote given us equality is the same thing that is being used to strip Christians of their equal rights as Christians. So this thing is demonic, but I'll tell you something right now. The church is called to be shrewd. We're called to be shrewd. And so what we're going to do is we're going to work on being 10 steps ahead of the enemy, and we're going to play at his own game, but we are not going to bow. We're not going to bow. But we are kingdom people. We're called to further the kingdom of God. So I'm above that act. I'm above that law. I am above that law. God's law is above that law. It's higher than that law. And so for me, as far as I'm concerned, it's only given more opportunity to establish the kingdom of God, because as they continue to push lies, people are going to be seeking the truth.
Oh, yeah.
And as an ambassador of the kingdom with the truth in total, I'm going to be ready to give it to them. And it's going to be people in the church that need it, as well as people in the streets. I'm ready. So as disappointing as it is, it should open up some people's eyes and realize that the Democrats, they don't have nothing for you. But also at the same time, conservatives, they're rhinos. They don't care. So we have to start a new party, and it has to be the kingdom party, the Jesus party. We have to now be willing to step up and represent the kingdom the way we were called to do, because remember, Jesus is a politician. He came as a politician. They said, when he said, who do you say I am? Others said, a prophet, Elijah, this, that, and the other. And then he said, well, who do they say I am? That's what they said. They said Elijah, a prophet, all this stuff like that. But he said, but who do you say I am? Peter got information from God himself saying, you are Christ. Christ means the anointed one, the anointed king. He's the king, and he's going to have a rule in the final say so, period. And that's what it's going to be.
You're correct about the persecution. And I wanted to ask you, this is something. What are your thoughts on the vaccinations? And by the way, all vaccinations are not bad, but I need to introduce you to a group of physicians. There's a doctor that they don't like named Dr. Stella Emanuel.
Yeah.
Okay. You know her?
Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed her. She's a friend of mine. And Edme, genetically speaking, part of my family comes from the exact same tribe as Stella Emanuel. Isn't that incredible?
That is.
So, because when I first talked to her, I just asked her, are you Takir? And she says, yeah. I says, well, I got some of that too. So she said, hey, cousin. So we've been cool ever since. What do y'all think about that? Because you know what? It's interesting. The only thing they want to give us are prisons, AIDS, crime, redlining. They want to replace us with illegals and everything else. They want us all to be gay. They want us to kill all of our babies. But now all of a sudden, Black Lives Matter, that this vaccine with luciferase is in. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to tell you, I was healed. And 51 years ago, I believe I got a bad vaccination in 1968, the year Dr. King was killed. I was sick for an entire year. And my parents would go to the doctors, and the doctors would say, we don't know. I would have these incredible fevers. I had a delusion. I either had a delusion that I went to hell. I was in such heat. My mother would put me under the air conditioner, give me ice packs and aspirins, and I'd still be about 106 degrees.
Wow.
Okay. And it was the point you'd get weak. Everything made you sick. You couldn't eat. And the doctors, they were just taking my parents' money. And I told my parents, don't go to the doctors anymore. I mean, shoot, I'm serious. This actually happened. And to me. And my mother went to a prayer service for women, and two white women came in and said, one of you has a son the devil wants to kill. He's been sick for months. He's going to die if we don't go and pray for him. There's a mother here with a sick child. We didn't come here for your meeting. My mother got up. The ladies came and prayed for me. I didn't get sick after that for 5 years. I immediately got better.
Wow.
I don't trust these things. I'm not against medication. In fact, I just beat a massive sinus infection. It wasn't COVID, y'all, but a massive sinus infection. And I've been taking, I took my hydroxychloroquine and some ivermectin because it helps with sinuses as well. So, but, what do you think about that? And that I have one more story. A girlfriend of mine who I want you to meet, a wonderful lady. Her father was the last king of Ethiopia. Her name, King Michael. His daughter is a friend of mine. Her daughter got vaccinated. There were some reactions, and I'm concerned. My birthday was February 9th, and I've been telling everybody that on my birthday, I even though I like God, I love me some Motown. And since I'm old, I'm 56, I love the Supremes. Mary Wilson died on my birthday, and I'm wondering if she and Cicely Tyson and all these other people have gotten these shots. And then all these famous people just suddenly dying, and no one says much. Oh, they're just this. No, right? So we can talk about eugenics too. I don't know how long y'all have. Y'all may only have, CPAC just ended, and they had their little, Nebuchadnezzar statue of Trump and so forth. And by the way, I voted for Trump twice. Everyone knows it. I voted for Trump. In fact, sisters, I would love for you guys to help bring light. There is a case called Jahi Issa versus Delaware State University. It's a case in Delaware. Joe Biden Jr., as Attorney General of Delaware, covered up lynchings. They lynch Black people in Delaware. They still do it. Someone went missing a few weeks ago, and we haven't heard anything. Joe Biden's son covered up the lynchings and police murders. You'll never hear about a police murder. You're from New York. Have you ever heard about anything in Delaware, any shootings? Never. Because it's awful. It's worse. It's as bad as Mississippi. If not, it's worse in Delaware. Think about it. Joe Biden ran for president of the United States. He's been in politics 55 years in Delaware.
Yeah.
And not one mention of any improvements, anything good. And just nothing. For Trump, they'll tell you that his university failed. Nobody ate his steaks. They at least examine his life, whether you like him or not. They'll tell you he cheated on his wife. He did this. He did that. Right. For Biden, they never went and looked in Delaware. They never did a poll. You've never seen any major Black people from Delaware endorse Joe Biden. Did you? And it's interesting. No, the question never comes up. There's an article about two brothers. One brother, let me remember their names. There are two brothers. One brother was found hung, hands tied together. They just abused and harassed and mistreated the family. And the Clark brothers. And then when the brother that survived, who was a barber, was going to testify, the day he was going to testify about his brother being lynched, he was shot down in front of the courthouse in Dover, Delaware. They have cameras. There's no footage of him being shot down. Okay. This is when Joe Biden Jr. was Attorney General in Delaware. The Southern Poverty Law Center, the ACLU, no group that I'm aware of, because I was involved trying to expose this. Nobody would deal with the fact that Black people get lynched in Delaware, that they have a huge human trafficking issue. People disappear, young girls disappear. It's just the norm. This is Joe Biden's Delaware. You reach more people than I do. When we had a protest a few months ago about lynching in Delaware, the newspapers came out. No one ran one story, even a mention that it happened. Did you see the video of Joe Biden calling black folks the N-word? He was talking just 6 days ago, and he says he catches himself.
Did you see that?
I saw a video. I'm not sure if you're talking about the same thing where he was talking.
He's speaking, and then he says "nig," and he catches himself in the middle of it. But I'm going to say one more thing. About 17 years ago, Joe Biden assaulted me on Louisiana Avenue, which is about 2 blocks from the Capitol. And I couldn't believe it. He saw me and he literally knocked me over in front of the Japanese American concentration camp memorial. It blew my mind. And I thought to go and, KHA Beverlyn. I was go KHA, and I said, you know what? No. If I do that, he's powerful, he's well-to-do, all that, and you're not those things. No matter what, you won't win. But he did that. One other time I saw him at the Union Station. He used to get his shoes shined at Union Station, and Joe Biden knows that he did. Okay. I started to just wave and speak to him. He gave me a look like, don't you dare speak to me, you N-word. And that's how he is. Trump isn't perfect, but aren't you amazed at all these Chucks and Pearls idiots that have run around like it's a new millennium? Can you see the brand new day? He's broken all his promises to everybody. The student loans. That was the one thing he said that halfway says, I can't stand them, but I would love to get them to reduce mine. He's not keeping it. He's a liar. And did you hear about his daughter claiming that he started raping her when she was 5?
No. Just to let you know, we have to actually go.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I said. Tell me how much time. Okay, now you guys talk then. It's time for you to. But feminism and the Equality Act, just feminism real fast. What's your thoughts on that as women? And by the way, we're pro women's rights. I am. But I don't think women should be men and men shouldn't be women. What's your take on all this feminist stuff?
Well, we'll make it our closing statement. You guys, we don't support feminism at all. It's demonic. You know what? It goes against God's nature and his heart and his intent when he created a woman. And in a sense, it's poisoning our women now. And it's bringing out a toxicity in women that is also pouring onto men. Women are influencers. And we were called to be leaders in influence. And because we've lost that understanding, we are now trying to take up the leadership position of a man, but we don't have the equipment to do what the man does because God created us in a different way. We have a different innate way of thinking. So feminism is definitely the devil's trap, the spirit of Jezebel. And I think you can elaborate.
Yeah. And, you mentioned something about Dr. King earlier and how he authored, or he was the father in terms of what's going on right now with the Equality Act, because they literally pimped the cause, right? I think the same thing happened to feminism, at least in America. At first, it was a noble cause when you talked about getting women the right to vote, something that they didn't have. There were a few things that were legitimate, and it went south. Because again, if the cause, or if what it is at first is not from God or protected for the kingdom, it will fall and be used by the enemy. So I truly believe that's what happened to the feminist movement. The day that I hear feminists go after Islam, then I may give them a little bit more time
credit
at the time of day. As long as they don't do it, I don't want to hear it. The day that they'll go after the LGBTQ, especially what's going on right now with the Equality Act, because sports is gone, women's sports is gone. So whatever they fought for decades to get going, now they're losing at the hands of the LGBTQ agenda. But I hear crickets though. I don't hear complaints, right? But they're against Christians, because Christians are, they're against women, but they won't go against Islam. They won't go against the LGBTQ. So as long as the hypocrisy is there, then, it's a fraud. It's a fraud.
Yeah. And we just want to thank you for having us on your show.
Can you come back?
Yeah, we can. We could come back and maybe be able to answer some more questions next time.
Okay, well, actually, I'm hoping you do your testimony, but please come back. And can you tell people how to support you? Send her money. You need money when you speak like when you talk like these two sisters do. You know, they mess with your money. I'm a living witness. I couldn't get a job in McDonald's. Who you the one that criticized drag queens? So these ladies need. It's at the Well Ministries.
Yes.
If you can text me or send me, I will put that out because I've been showing your films to people. So you know, I'm one person in DC that likes y'all. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. God bless both of you. I know you've got to go. Please come back. Y'all can come back anytime you want. Edney, you can come by yourself. Whichever way y'all want to do it, please come back.
Amen.
Right.
We will do.
Awesome.
All right. Love y'all. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right. That was great. Aren't they beautiful? You know, and Edney, I mean, they both got men. Though they are just fine all around, just wonderful. Those are the kinds of Black women that we are fighting for. Feminism ruins our women. Degeneracy, dudes that need to screw someone in the behind. That's tearing the woman down. Folk who all in the blowjobs don't even want to hit the cooch. Just want to leave dribble on their chin. Our women are so important. If we don't protect and nurture and guard our women, they end up not coming across as pure, wholesome, holy, desirable. That's what we need. And who would run after RuPaul if they had a choice to meet someone like Edney? Really? Come on, y'all. And I'm not trying to push people to be one way or the other, but I'm talking real talk here. They're at the Well Ministries. I'm going to put the info up. Beverlyn is one of the main people fighting against Black Lives Matter. We didn't even get into that. Everyone knows I can't stand Black Lives Matter. I can't. I can't abide the coons. I don't care who doesn't like it. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. And I just want people to look into this Equality Act. I'm going to be talking. In fact, now that this cold is mostly over, I can go back. I got my books. So I'm going to do a couple of things today. I may take a nap, but when I come back, I'm going to be hitting the books. Y'all. So I'm going to let you go here. But that was Beverlyn Beatty. And she just told y'all she stepped down from being the vice president of the Run for Life because the white pro-life people couldn't handle her realness. If you see her interviews, if you've seen her talk about her father being a dealer and so forth, she's real. They're upset with how these are so-called white conservatives were upset at how she stepped to war nuts. Y'all know that I was in Atlanta and I got in trouble with war nuts. And there's a video where I'm telling people, I was being filmed by the activist from Chicago named Paul McKinley, telling people that if you vote for war nuts, you can go ahead and do it. His ass will be in trouble within 2 months of being in office. Well, they're after him right now. Within 2 months, he's facing charges. I told people that in front of Ebenezer Church in Atlanta. And both Beverlyn and I were exposing the homeless village across the street from Ebenezer Church. And that was embarrassing to Warnock. And I think he called some people and a certain assassinated leader's family. And the word went around, Dr. Short, you got to get him out of Atlanta. He has to go. So I was kicked out of being in the campaign to fight against Warnock. This really happened because we could bring these coons down. And I forgot to ask Beverlyn a question. I'm going to text her and send her a request. Anyway, Coon Busters, I'll be doing more of these. It's a new month, new life. Let's just do what we can. And Warlock, Horlock, War Nuts, whatever it is, that sellout Mr. Potato Head apostate preacher who's talking about doing something for black farmers. He's going to throw a few bones at people to cover up for the fact that he's for abortion and transhumanism and trans and all this other kind of stuff. To me, just give us the damn money for farms and reparations. Why do we have to have all this deviant stuff attached to it? That's a bunch of bull. Okay? Anyway, thank y'all. If y'all got guests, Brother Solid Cam, do send me your phone number. I want to talk about reparations. I want you to come on and talk about reparations and Lori Dykefoot. I'm sorry, Diggs. I didn't know how long. I thought I had an hour. We had a problem connecting. So she said she'll come back. I'm excited. Okay. And they didn't know what to expect. They're happy. So Diggs, pray for me. So I was ready to just let them talk. They didn't elect to do that. So I can't make people do. I can try interviewing people. Sometimes people are more stand backish. Okay. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to come back. And I just, if y'all got people, y'all got my email. That's W. Randy Stewart, which is also my Zelle and PayPal. And by the way, I want to go to war with the NAACP. I want some books. I have this wonderful brother. In fact, some of the books that I'm going to read from, I have PDF copies because there's a brother that has access. I'll let you know whenever there's a PDF that you could email me and I can send it to you so you don't have to buy it. But for all of you, I absolutely have to get some books that are hard to find on the NAACP. So if y'all can bless me, and it's a whole bunch of stuff I want to get, but we about to get real. So thank everybody for being patient. I didn't plan to get sick. And actually, if YouTube had had their way, I would have been off until 30 days from now. I don't know why they changed their mind and let me back on, whatever, but be that as it may, I'm here. Absolutely share this video. Look up Beverlyn Beatty. She is the one that throws paint on the Black Lives Matter stuff. I love her for it. She's got more guts than I do. You're talking about Harriet Tubman on steroids with the weed. Look, I'm so happy. And they're millennials. There are some of us who are non-boomers and some of us that are boomers need to seek out and save as many of these young folks as we can. There are some real, they're our future. And I repeat, abortion is murder. Okay. God made Adam and Eve. He didn't make two dudes. Okay. In fact, the first two dudes you hear about in the Bible is Cain and Abel, and someone ends up dead. Sounds like a gay marriage in the first place. Real talk. I wonder about Cain. Anyway, you know, this is my fruit. What do you mean, God? You like Abel's, right? I think, you know, there's something not right about Cain. Anyway, it's 12 noon. I'm going to come back. Yeah, she hangs out with the Proud Boys. Sure, she does. The question is, a lot of people hang with folks. Every single solitary Black person that's in corporate America hangs with racists. Every single solitary Black person that cuts a deal or does stuff, or recording artist, deals with racist. Everyone, Bug Shelton, every single, you're not able to be away from racism in America. And when you're not dealing with racism from Anglos, you're getting it from Khazarians or Asians or Arabs, and a lot of times we get it from other Black people. So there is no love zone for us to be in. As long as Beverlyn Beatty is talking about Black politicians serving the needs of Black people, as long as she's talking about not killing Black babies, as long as she's talking about Black women being women and loving Black men, as long as she's not trying to tear the fabric of Black people down, I damn who she's talking. And I don't know what they're saying to the Proud Boys. If they're not telling them to kill Black people, if they're not celebrating violence and police murders against Black people, maybe they're telling them about changing their lives. Okay. Thank you, Sister Latoya. The Proud Boys saved her from Black Lives Matter and Antifa. So all I can say to you is that you will see me with people that you might call racist. You might see people that you ultra conservative, and their politics may be questionable. You might see me. But the real question I'd say to all of you brothers and sisters is, do you see Black people? Do you? And if you don't, then what the hell are we talking about? Because we have a Congressional Black Caucus, we have an NAACP, an Urban League, a National Asshole Network, we have PUSH, we have a whole bunch of groups that act against Black people every single solitary day. And this, we're not critical of these people, but we do. And this is the passive aggressive cowardice of Black folks. We'll attack an individual that we disagree with, but we don't attack systems or structures. We could do better than that. Okay. When I talk to people who are conservative, I talk about reparations and that Black people have to get theirs. Okay. I said to you, I said to them too. And when that sister said she wasn't going to break bread in leadership and be a coon conservative, that lets you know that she has integrity. It's rare, it's hard to find, and sometimes it's not readily identifiable to people who don't have a good moral compass in the first place to make an assessment. But she's the real deal, and so is Edme. Love everybody. I'm 4 minutes over. Please share the video. Today is a historic day. Today, we're going to have 250,000 views in just a very short matter of time. So help the countdown. Share this video and keep the donations coming. Absolutely. In fact, I can't wait. I'm learning how to use this iPhone 11, and I will be working on what I can do with my iPhone 6 and the pad. So, and I'm going to be getting coached. We will be doing shows. I'm going to have the brother from Afghanistan, Stephen Robinson, who's from Bermuda, who's watching. It would be nice for him to do a program with me, a Black Bermudian, but it's back. I'm back. And forgive me, I mean, it's been crazy, all the stuff that's gone on the last few months. So peace, love, MFM. We want that MFM. We want it, and we got to get it. And until we get it, we're going to continue to have people try to usurp our position, the people at the border, or this monstrosity of HR 5, the Pedophile Amnesty Bill, aka the Gay Equality Act. When I get back with you today, I'm going to do several things. So for those who missed the books, I've got them. And we're going to go to war with coons. So bless everybody. I'll see y'all shortly. I'm going to try to give myself a quick nap, and then I'll come in and hang out with y'all for a day. All right. Love everybody. Bye-bye. See, MFM, we got to get that money. Yeah, end it.